Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new income report video, this time for July and June, so a double one like the previous one. Just for anyone that's new here, I publish books on KDP, and that is low content and medium content books, so we're talking things like planners, journals, notebooks, activity books and colouring books, things of that nature. Just to say that I have been publishing online since late 2019, so I do have a lot of experience with it. It's not something that I just did overnight. So that being said, I will get on with the video. So how have the last couple of months been for you for June and July? Let me know in the comments below. On June the 20th, that's when Amazon raised their printing costs, and many of us have increased our prices or have just taken a bit of a hit as far as royalties go. But let me know what you did. Basically, I didn't notice very much in June because June was a good month. In July, I definitely had a lower July in comparison to June, but not too different from the previous year, so it's hard to tell really. I have not increased that many prices, so a lot of the 6x9 books have remained the same. However, I did raise the price of one of my best-selling books, which happens to be an 8x10 inch book. The BSR really fell after that, so I did put it back to what it was. My competitors hadn't really changed their prices, so well, in that particular area anyway. So I decided to just lower it back to what it was. But it's really hard to tell because obviously your royalties are going to fluctuate month by month. They might be down in the summer anyway, so it's really hard to gauge what is to do with price increases, what's to do with the fact that you've changed your prices, or what it is just to do with the fact that it's a certain month of the year which may be lower than other months. So yeah, I'll see how it goes anyway. I may well raise the price again when it comes to Q4. So what I'm going to do now is just head straight into what I actually made in June and July of this year and last year. I'm just editing this video and I have this visitor who is really getting in the way of the screen. So in June 2023, I made $7,369, and my highest day was $426, my lowest day being $102. And yeah, it was definitely a lot more than I expected because last June was one of the lowest months of the year for me. As you can see, in 2022, I made $5,465, with the highest day being $328. I actually made nearly $2,000 more in $2,000 more in 2023. So that's a pretty huge difference. And I couldn't really tell you why, apart from that I am making some more now in Australia. I've actually raised some of my prices in Australia as well because I noticed that the prices were really low and the royalties were low. So I increased the prices there. And I have noticed a difference anyway with that because I've been advertising in Australia and that's made a really big difference. But even so, the extra sales in Canada and Australia don't really make up for the increase overall. So I'm not sure they are the same books selling really. I just think they are selling more than they were, and advertising as well, advertising more than I did. So in July 2023, I made $6,898 and the highest day was $569. And that was a weird day as well because I went to bed that night and I'd made about 200 and something, woke up the next morning and it was on 569 and I was already on 200 and something for that day. So it turned out that I'd actually made just one bulk order of one book, $800 or something in total. So that really made a difference actually to the overall month. So in comparison to last year, I made $6,386. And in total, that was around $500 more in 2022. Sorry, $500 more in 2023. But I did spend a lot more on ads. And as you can see, it's quite up and down that month. I made this big sale here of $651. And I think a lot of that was from one book again. And yeah, the lowest day was $102. So overall, still really pleased with July considering the price increases and everything. Of course, it's made some impact, but overall, I'm still pretty pleased. And it would be interesting to see how the other summer months compare to last year. So just to talk about my ads really quickly, the ACOS in the USA was 36%, so that was a bit high for me. And I also spent the most there, and that was because I had this ad that was doing really, really well for 2 years or something. So I thought I would raise my bid and see if I could make some more sales with that. But what happened was the ACOS went sky high. So I'm trying to see what I can do with that. But the ACOS in the other countries was fine. So 26% is okay in the UK, 16% in Canada, and 14% in Australia, which is really good. But I only have a couple of ads running in Australia right now. One is for one book, one is a group ad. And yeah, I noticed that they have different ad policies in Australia. So some of the books that I advertise on all of the platforms, I couldn't advertise there. So it is worth checking out the ad policies of the different countries. I guess they differ. I don't know if they're going to become more strict on the other platforms or if it's just an Australian thing, but that's just what I've experienced so far. So in total, I spent $570 in June, and that's including the 20% VAT that I get charged from Amazon automatically, and that goes onto my bill. In July, I had a slightly lower ACOS of 33% in the US, and it had lower in the UK as well, which was better at 22%, 17% in Canada, and 13% in Australia. So that was a bit lower again. But in total, I did spend nearly $700, so $692, which is the most I've spent in a really long time. I haven't checked all the previous months, but I think it may have been something like 700 and something in December. But that's fine. I mean, I have been intending to spend more anyway, and hopefully it will increase my sales overall. I've also been a bit more slack in general checking them, so that's something I probably need to pay attention to, especially now that I'm doing it across 4 different platforms. It's quite difficult to just remember to keep going in and checking that everything is okay. So my KDP profit for June then was $6,684. And that's obviously taking off the ads and the tools. If you are interested in what tools I do use, I'll link in the description to a blog post where I list all the tools that I use, including ones that aren't to do with KDP, because obviously I'm not going to include those on this income report, but I do list all of those as well. And my KDP profit in July was $6,091. I'm still really pleased with that result. And just stay tuned for the August income report, because I'm going to be publishing that as an independent one at the beginning of August. And obviously I don't know how that's going to go yet, but August was my lowest month last year, and I think it was the lowest month the previous year to that as well. I just want to see what it's like in comparison. I can't really tell at this point. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a great week. Let me know in the comments how your months are going. Do you have a lower month in August typically, or maybe that's your best month? I know some people have a lot of back to school books and things like that, and maybe they sell composition notebooks that sell really well in the US once kids are going back to school and things like that. I just haven't had that experience particularly. Let me know in the comments anyway how you're doing. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will speak to you again very soon.